and the park we're tackling today is the Palisades Park. And as you can see, this is one of our first rainy hikes. So we definitely have full rain gear on today. And we also have poles with us today as we take on this area. So probably be less pauses today and more direct. As we want to get in and get out before the weather gets super bad. Oh wow. Two ways to go. One, riverside. The other is up through the hill and then coming over to the bamboo forest. So we're gonna go out and go up. So we're gonna go away from the river and come back. But you can clearly see it's gonna be a wet one today. So we are here. This is the river pathway. And then you kind of hike your way back up, come to the crossing. Bamboo forest is back here. We're gonna go up, either up this way or up the parking way and come around and then come down. All good trails, can't go wrong. Part of the reason why I'm staying away from the river today to start off is because of all the rain. So we'll try to let some of the water head downstream, not build up as much. You can see even the interior area has already got a good amount of water. Rain slowed down when I was driving up. So let's hit it. Definitely have my waterproof boots on, testing the new pair today. So far so good. Yeah, you can see how it's flowing down. Small little dams turning into waterfalls. It's actually not too bad. Been in the mid to upper 60s when I started out. When I got to the park, as the rain was already progressing, about 61 degrees. All right, first pivot point. There's to the right, and then there's straight ahead. So it looks like to the right is a not as well maintained path. Not really sure where that goes. May just go around and meet right back up. So we're gonna keep going up. So you can kind of see why we need some poles out here, especially while it's wet. See all the rocks. And don't try to rush it out here when it's wet. Just take your time. All right, here's the split. This will take you down into the valley. So you can see roughly here. So this one heads up to the, oh look, little chipmunk. This one heads up towards the parking lot, parking area, and you can hike around this way. Or from here, just hike on the interior and then come back up. So we're gonna take this one. This is a steeper incline over there, and with it being wet the way it is today, we're going to stay on a more manageable, higher level course. These poles adjusted. Test it out. Okay, it's good. So about 110. Part of the reason I use the poles is so I'm climbing up like these areas that I don't make, that I'm not bending over as much. Look at that 120 up top. And then 110 here. See the feet come off. Just adjust it so foot's going in the same direction. So got a nice little hill to climb up. Whew. See the water flowing everywhere you can. Take a little break. Check out. Definitely see elevation. And how we were at just a few minutes ago at river level. Now we're at the top. Oh, this looks like it hikes down and over. Where we're going is up across that one. Oh, wow. Get some water. Gotta give my libation. Woo! Let's hit it. Whew. Rapid elevation. Been off the trail for a minute. It'll take some time to get reacclimated. All right, let's take a look back. Some kind of structure was there. First major incline conquered. Hey, how you doing, bro?
How you doing?
All right, so this is the parking area. Let's see roughly where we are. Okay, so we started in the main parking lot right here. We've hiked all the way up to this part. This is where we are in the parking trail standpoint. So remember, we could have gone on this interior and then come back around and come up, but we went straight up, come around and come back in. So not bad. Now you can see this as it relates to the whole Chattahoochee River from Lake Lanier all the way down past to the point where we are. It's filled with the rich array of parks to hike, and it's free. No fee to enter, no fee to park. So can't see it today, but these parking lots, both the lower and this upper one, fill up quickly, and you will see parking along the shoulder. Looks like they're enforcing it more to get people to stop doing that, because it causes, you know, damage along the shoulder to the natural habitat, and it also makes it harder for people to be able to come in and then also come out, because this is a one lane in and out. So if you're parked along the shoulder, it makes it hard for people to navigate. You move quick. It's like, oh, you got, there's the other one. I thought you were missing one.
Yeah.
It's really cool. People generally on the trail are open, engaging. Oh, I don't know if you could hear in the distance, is the warning on the Chattahoochee River. And that will be a flood warning, telling you to exit the river, either pre-release from Lake Lanier, or because of the high water levels due to the rain and the runoff coming from higher levels like where we are, going back down to the river. So you can get flash floods, which was the alert from the weather this morning before I started this process. Marker is coming up. Definitely a lot less water, a lot better time on the harder paved surface, or not paved, but dirt surface. Now we'll head back in the trail. All right, here we go. Oh, this is interesting. So we're right here. We just hiked up from where the parking started. We call this portion of the river the Devil's Racecourse. Yeah, I guess because of these turns and then all the rocks, everything that's in there. So we're gonna take this around, over, and then back over to the bamboo forest. You probably will not see the observation deck as we are going to go the opposite way. So another way to look at it, we're right here. When we get to EP22, take that around to 17 to 16 to 20. And then we'll come back along the Chattahoochee River. Yeah, wet days like today, poles are great. Waterproof shoes, a must. Hiking shoes, preferred. Boots, not necessarily, like high mountain hiking boots, not required. You can get a mid or even a low trail shoe and take it out, see the rocks that you're going to encounter just starting out. You know, a good pair of good walking shoes would be good. Just something with a grip that's designed to be outdoors. So here's our turn. There's one to go that way. That's our turn to go the opposite way. Oh, it's another turning point. So let's double check. Make sure we're at the right point. Ah, that leads me back up to the parking lot. So if I went up this way, it takes me up to the main road that comes in. So we got to go down to the next checkpoint, and that'll take us around. It goes up and around to the overlook. That's just path straightaway. The one down here to the right take us down. It will take us stream-wise, a feeder, little creek that feeds into the river. So that should be interesting. So we're right here. This is the creek that feeds into the river. We're heading out this way because we want to get to 17 and then come over to the forest that way. So we will enjoy this down. Just remember, the time you go down, at some point to get back to where we were, we gotta go up and over. Because we gotta clear those two hills, two main hills. So I use my poles on the decline to slow me down and also to give me some grip, extra grip as I'm coming down. These rainy days, definitely beneficial. Like a lot of rain has passed us by, starting to lighten up a lot. A lot more sunlight coming through the clouds. Okay, see the little creek? Runs right into the Chattahoochee. So you can see this path, much narrower than the other paths we're on. We're creekside, side of a hill. So you definitely want to watch your step. Not a path I recommend that you take if you're on a phone call or trying to watch a movie or even talking someone on the phone. Need your undivided attention to these turns, these rocks, these roots. So you want to remain focused. A lot of great sights out here. Oh wow, it's pretty cool. It's where two creeks come together. So runoff from the hill up here meets this creek, heads on down to the Chattahoochee. Never really seen a lot come from that side. And you want to find your footing. Ah. Hi, how you doing? Finding your footing is important in that particular part of the trail, especially with the roots because they're slippery. definitely lower. We're at creek level. A lot of natural dams. Oh wow. See? If you get a lot more water, this probably be underwater. Through the rocks. And we continue on. Where am I? All right, here we go. We are now the farthest edge. All right, here's our, my hook came off. Back to 120. Okay, so markers down there, it's gonna have us go back up this way. This is the path that you take to get over to, we'll go to the marker so you can see it. This is the path that you take to get to the bamboo forest. This pathway will take you down to the Chattahoochee and then back around and back up. And a lot of people miss this one little turn, and then they miss the bamboo forest altogether. So we're going to show you where we are. So we're at EP23. Cross this bridge or back up the way we can. It'll take us around. When we go around, we're going to come around here and we'll be right along the Chattahoochee. This last point is where the forest is. Actually, this area in here is where the forest is. We'll come back the same way, and when we come here, we can go back around this way, which will take us around and back up, you know, through a series of turns, twisted turns to get us back to this starting point here. So we're here, up, this pathway to the right, all the way out to the forest, come back to this point, head down this pathway to the left, and then we will take this windy trail. This is the overlook here. So either we come here and head back up, we come back down the way we, the other alternative way we can, or you kind of loop around and find your way either back around, back out to the Chattahoochee, or just back out and around. I generally miss these areas because I take a look at the Chattahoochee here. With the rain, I'll probably cut it a little shorter today. So we're testing out the bridge. That's going to be a little slick with the rain, so I'm going to go back up the walkway. So you can see, you can back up to the right, just cross the river. All right, so it's not coming down a whole heck of a lot, so it makes it a little bit easier just to step across. If there was a lot more water, that bridge would be the way. And then we'll go on short incline here. Then we'll make a left head back up the other side to then come back down to head to the bamboo forest. Again, this is the part that's often missed, especially that path that we took, because it's not clearly marked. If you get to the marker, you can see it, you can find your way. So glad we got waterproof footwear on today. So not as concerned about crossing the river. My boots are holding up quite well. So see, pretty good steps. All right, that'll lead you back on another trail. This will lead you back up. So that alternative way that we go, we're gonna hit this because this is the way for us. And you can see a marker. It's a blue blaze. Sounds a little bit like the rain is picking up. All right, this pathway will take us back out towards the edge of the park and to whatever roadway that is. So we're going to continue to the left and head down. Quick check on my phone. All right, so you can see where we are. We're heading right into bamboo forest area. Freeway center. See, not too far to go. All right, this is great. All right, so we got 43% left on our battery on the camera, so we're good. See, we're gonna drop back down before we find our way back on. Really what this does is take us over the creek, give us another pathway alongside, because the creek is right over here to our left. I think you can see it now. Well, little bridge, take it slow. Not slick. We're good. Okay. Now you can see, at least I can see Chattahoochee straight ahead. our path's gonna be to the right, coming up. We're gonna walk out, take a look at the water. Oh wow, that's our path to the right. Oh wow, it's the most water I've seen in Chattahoochee in a while. So you can see out there where the log is, there are rocks that are in here. So if you're coming down and you're rafting or canoeing, you have to watch out for those, especially when the water is high, because you can't really see them clearly, except for where you see the water start to break right over the top. So there we have it. There's a duck. All right, let's hit our path. All right, here we go. EP16, we're right here. And all we have to do is head all the way out to 22, and we made it to the bamboo forest. This one, in this area, narrow pass, some point, it's a one-person section. So, like one person at a time. See another pathway up. Probably came from the top of the hill. You could cut across. Generally don't see much wildlife out here outside of like birds along the water. Haven't seen any deer on these paths. It could be because of how heavily traveled they are. You can see how narrow it is. But you can clearly see how much water is on the trail. So again, really thankful. My feet are thankful for the waterproof shoe wear. And here's our bridge across. Another creek feeds into the Chattahoochee. A lot more water pooling here. The closer we are to the river. Definitely see it flowing. Great view down. Whew. Thank you for the poles. very quick. All right, keep it moving. You can see the rockiness of this path. So again, just pay attention, take it slow, look for good footholds or good areas. Place your foot without it slipping or being wedged between two rocks or a rock and a branch. A rock and a tree root. Here we are, bamboo forest, the outer edge. Most of it's concentrated right here in the middle to the left. You'll see fragments of it go along the side. We'll hike right through it. But it's right here, right along the river, Chattahoochee River. It's amazing. See how dense it is? Definitely see sections that have come down. It's unfortunate people mark them. It is definitely wonderful. And that looks like the base of one. And so I'll set up a swing. And when it's not wet, you can actually climb up this and sit up there for a great view. Here we are right in the center of the bamboo forest. That's come down a while ago, making it hard to go across. Take a look at the Chattahoochee River from here. Just look at all the roots that are coming out from the base. Just makes them so sturdy. The roots are definitely slick. Trees right on the edge, home overlooking, a building overlooking, and some apartment complex right along. And back down this way, it's all natural. So this is the bamboo forest. You try to climb across it, it's a little difficult. I generally take this pathway and over to the left just so I can get to the end of the trail and complete it. Then we'll hike it back. You see the large trees? That was a really large one. Come down. Looks very chaotic. When that tree came down, it took down a lot of the bamboo in this pathway, and some are holding it up right on the edge. So over here we can kind of cut through. On a non-rainy day. Oh, that's so interesting. That's the top. That's the base. Not sure what happened here. I don't know if that's clearing. There's more. Continue on the trail. All great points to get out to the Chattahoochee. Again, when the water's flowing the way it is now, it's not recommended to get into the water. And anytime you get into Chattahoochee, it's always recommended to have a life vest. Here we are. The outer edge, the bamboo forest. And there's our marker, 26. So this little clearing's a nice place to kind of hang out. This marker was almost taken out by the tree, but if you can see it, there's 26. That's where we are. That's the end of the line. It looks like a path heading up here and to the right, but it's not. So for us, just take a look at the water, regroup for a second, and then begin our hike back. I gotta find out what apartment complex that is. If you ever need to reset, you just want to come out and just listen, it's a great point right here. Just to listen to the water, watching things flow downstream. Check on my battery. At 20%, so we're going to do the change here. So I'm going to pause for the cause, and then we will pick right back up. All right, we're all reset. Just grabbing my pole. Battery's good. And now we're going to hike back in. So we're right now again at the furthest point on the trail. This looks like a pathway, but it's not a marked trail. We're not going to hit that today. We're going to stay on all marked trails. And we're overlooking the Chattahoochee River. There's some kind of apartment complex over here. Nice home up over the hill. And that is the outer edge of the bamboo forest. That is marker number 22. And here we go, taking it back. It was raining a little heavier earlier. Kind of feels like it stopped. So just so you can follow where we are, you can see right here at the upper portion. So number 26, we're gonna hike back to 16, 17, and we have options from here. We could take 23 and then go to 22 and come back out the way we came, or take 23, wind around, and then find our way all the way down here to these closer markers to the river. So once we get closer to 17, we'll take a look at the conditions and we'll make a determination as to what's the best way for us to go. I am wearing some protective gear. I definitely have on my waterproof boots today. And my pack with my water and my poles today to help with stabilization on these surfaces, because some of them are wet. And just remember, these roots can be slippery. Down branches may look solid, but may not be. So just be careful. Watch where you step, where you're planting your foot. Don't know when this bamboo forest was planted, but it is dense. It doesn't go all the way up the hillside, but you can see a few that are making their way up. Would be interesting to see. Oh wow, there's some kind of a structure right on the top. So there's an overlook. We're gonna hike this on back. You can see the roots from bamboo trees as they connect to one another, mixed in with the roots from the regular trees. And you see these great rock formations. So not a rock climber, can't give you any guidance on trying to scale those. Definitely don't recommend it when it's wet, but it's gotta be some great views from up there. But that is not a part of the marked trail, so we're not taking it. You can see the puddles on the pathway, and that was from all the rain earlier. It really was coming down heavily. And you also, in this low-lying area over here, we get runoff. So you get runoff from those hills up there. Kind of settle here, because this is a little higher than the Chattahoochee River, but this area over here is higher than that, so it keeps it kind of trapped in here, which is great as a source for water for these vegetation around us. Back to the tree bridge. And right in the middle of the bamboo forest, you'll find this tree. So if you're ever out here, come take a look for it. They put a swing on it, but it's a great picture point when you're out on this trail. Again, definitely watch for bamboo roots. They like to angle up right on the pathway. So the tree roots kind of lay flat. Bamboo ones have a little arch to them. Now we are out of the bamboo forest. This is the extent of it. Take one last look. It's back to the right behind us and down that pathway. It's well worth the hike. Just a little bit more added on to the regular marked trails. It's a great place to be. And just remember, as we stated going out, anytime we go down, we're coming back out the same way. It means we've got an incline to tackle. And I enjoy the challenge. All right. We're on our way. You see a lot of roots, a lot of rocks. And you can see more of the rocks up the hill. I mean, it's really interesting areas. See if we can pan up. There are a lot of these granite hills all throughout and around the Atlanta area, which is in North Georgia. It's closer to the mountains. So it's not surprising that we have a lot of this. You know, in some areas, you would think that Atlanta is pretty level. There's a wealth of hills all around. Normally this time of the day when it's not been raining heavily, you see a lot of tubes, kayaks, some canoes traveling down. Definitely have to watch our step there. Always say careful, because one wrong placement can be an ankle injury. And we are a good distance away from where we started. On a rainy day like today, not a lot of people out. So that would make for an interesting hike out. Also, as you come out here, again, let somebody know where you're going. Make sure your device is charged. If you have more than one, bring your backup with you. This is in case something happens to your primary device, so you can reach out and get some help if you need it. Or just let somebody know you're okay. The weather gets really bad. All right, here we go. Another down tree. Yep, and another really rocky formation. And we're back, almost back to our connected path. Oh, I see where the Chattahoochee is coming all the way up. A lot more water, and that all will be underwater. And beyond the rainfall, just remember, Chattahoochee is managed by the Army Corps of Engineers upstream at Lake Lanier, and they release water from it throughout the day. You'll generally hear the sirens, and that's going to occur. And those sirens are warnings to anyone on the water, thinking about getting into the water, that they're about to release additional volume that's coming downstream. All right, so we saw this path before, not clearly marked, but an interesting one. See signs along the river. And here we are, back at a starting point. So let's take a look. So EP16. So you can see that other mark, the path isn't marked. We're here. This is where we came to go to EP17. You could think, hey, there should be a way to get from here over here on that hill, and there is. It is not a marked path, and it's not a very clear path, and it is definitely a challenge path. But I've seen people, and I've tried it once, go straight up this hill. And you kind of wind your way up to the top, and you get on the path and wind your way over. From a directness standpoint, it basically cuts out this kind of windiness that we did along the River Creek, and then allows you to come back out somewhere right in here. Then you can either come around to the lookout or go back around and either down the path or around the wave path. We're not going to take that today because, again, it's raining, it's steep, it's not clearly marked, so you kind of got to very careful watch where you're going. We'll go back down along the creek side and then make our way out. So that's the alternative incline. You can see it almost going great angle going up. We'll take this one. Just remember, we came down this way. Quite enjoyable. And we'll go back up this way. Quite enjoyable. Oh wow. So we're a tree. It's going down right on the edge of the hill. So you want to make sure you're staying close to the center of the trail. All right, here's our connector. And our guidepost. EP 17. So we're here. That's the trail to my right. Takes you over the top of the hill. We're gonna wind back around and make our way out. All right, so let's hit EP 23, which is where we cross the river. And from here, you can see, faintly see the path that we took. Remember, there are all kinds of trail types out here. So you just have to decide which one's for you. And this is a connector. You can see 3 paths. One straight ahead, one across this creek, heading up over the hill. This is the way we came, so we'll follow it back down along this creek, back to the main path. And there we are, back at the stream. Just a step across. Something I didn't do when I got to the last point was double check all of my gear, particularly my shoes. So what we'll do, that's the path we came over here. To the left, to the right is where the marker is. Today we're primarily navigating via the markers just to show you how good and accurate they are and easy to follow when you're out here. But I always have on me my All Trails access to. So the reason I didn't come across this before is I could see the bridge starting to break down a little bit. So we're just gonna be careful as we cross. And you can see that path to the right. So that's what we're gonna investigate because we came this way. So we're gonna see if we can get back out the opposite way, and we can. So 2 points from here, back up the creek, back up the hill, and then get to this point, which we're gonna climb up, or back around this way, and then around this hill. So that's gonna be some up, because that's the overlook, and then find our way back across. So we're gonna pause real quick because I need to adjust my shoes to make sure I'm set and ready to go. All right, all adjusted, ready to go. Quick check on All Trails so you can see where we are right here. And the way we came was out this way. So we're gonna follow this kind of loop around and back out this way. Should be an interesting trail. So following on this map, EP23, we're gonna make our way to EP14, EP10, looks like 8. The way they have it going is you go around to 6, then 5, 4, 2, and 1. Okay, let's hit it. Just remember, getting over here, we had a lot of areas that we went downhill. So we're gonna have a number of areas that we're gonna climb back up. I like to adjust so my grips in the front of my pole lock line. All right, this is looking interesting already with the amount of trees that are down. They do a great job on this trail maintaining it. So you can see there's a cut through, but this path looks like it follows the old runoff down to the creek. And you feel it going up. And as we've already come up a good distance from the creek, it is winding, which is good. Helps break it up. Ooh. All right, take a quick break. Get some water. Keep it moving. Oh my goodness. We continue. I continue this wind back up. Several hills out here. We're making it to the top. This one. And looks like a junction point at the top of that next one. So nice rolling hill. We made our way up from the creek. Nice elevation gain. Get my breath, taking my time before I hit this next one. I was wondering what was hitting me. Another sip. From here you can see where the trail would wind down there, up and around, because all this is one part of a hill. This allows a less challenging approach to the top. All right, let's keep it going. Continue to wind this on up. Oh, I can see the junction box. Oh. All right. Woo! Made it. All right. 14. We got some choices. Let's rest the pole. All right. Here. So it's kind of opposite. So I can go to the right, and this will take me to the lookout. And then continue on to 10, and I always take 10 back around and over. Remember, this is steep incline, so for the most part, coming out this way would just be managing the decline. And it connects back in with the pathway that we took when we got to this junction and went up this way. So you can experience this. The way our map has us is that we'd route around here, over here, and find our way. Kind of rolls down, a little bit up and down, all the way out. So we will continue from 14 to 10. That's going to take us to the overlook, up from 10 to 12. And then we may just do 8, kind of fast track our way on out. All right. All right, let's get a breath. That's a quick path to 24. Kind of tempted. That's the straight path, is this way. Up, then over, and then straight down. Not the twists, the turns. So, but I really want to get the overlook in while we're here. So we're going to hit this overlook. Make a decision once we get to EP10 as to what we do. All right, here we go. Oh wow, you see buildings over the top. Yeah, I definitely feel like I need to adjust my right shoe. So we'll do a double adjustment once we get to the overlook. All right, where am I? Around the curve. It's a little narrow. On the outer side this time, just being careful. Watch our steps. Remember, I said there are other paths that led up here. So this pathway, if you look straight down to those trees, is where we were. So if we come up that hill, we could connect it to another pathway that would lead us right to this same point. Just remember, many different pathways to get you there. Those that are marked are generally the ones that are easily managed by all user types. And in optimum conditions, it's not that challenging. And you can see yet another trail where it kind of climbs down, goes off this way. And here's overlook. It's called Poppy's Point. You could go down below and stand out over. But great view, Chattahoochee. In the distance, that's 285. And then back over here, you can see buildings in the distance that are most likely a part of the Battery where the Braves play. So incredible area and a great point to rest. We're going to take a quick break as I adjust my shoes. All right, all adjusted, ready to go and continue on out. So right now we're at the overlook. We're on the trail from the bamboo forest back to our parking lot. And now we're heading back up. So 2 choices. You can kind of hike up the gravel, climb these steps. Watch out for these nails where they had steps in before. You want to break from the stairs right onto the dirt. All right, so another great view. Overlook below us, Chattahoochee River below that, and northern part of Atlanta. Do hear the rain picking back up again. So we are going to take a more direct route out of here for today. Here we go. All right. We are EP10, just left the overlook. We can follow down this path, which will take us to 8, then 7, then 3, and then out, or continue up this path, and that'll take us over to 12, and 24, and then a straight path out. This is the steeper of the two approaches, so we're gonna head our way up here and get to number 6. Time I go out, realize something else I need to bring along with me from a previous hike when we crossed the stream without the proper footwear. Realized I need to bring an extra pair of socks. So we have that today. Brought with me a jacket just in case I ran into any weather. That's another good thing to have. But as I'm hiking out here, and it's been raining off and on and going through a lot of puddles, come to realize I need to pack another pair of hiking pants or even some shorts for when I'm out here. Weather's not too cold, so shorts would do. Definitely would help as I get to points where I want to dry off, where I am right now. All right, so you can see clearly 2 paths. One that's gonna head you back towards the Chattahoochee. That's most likely going towards EP6 this way. We're heading down towards EP30. We're gonna continue straight and hit EP7 and find our way out. This is straight, that's to the right towards the Chattahoochee. Most likely on our map, they had us going that way. So we're gonna mark it off that we are still on track. Recenter. Yeah, they definitely had us going around. So you can see where they had us going around, and I'm going to take this straighter pathway to get out sooner. Don't need to pose as much. Keep them on in case I get to some inclines and I want to slow myself down. You can clearly see we're over the top. Great views. Most of the leaves are all gone except for like that golden tree, the other golden tree. You can see a couple people out on the trail right now. The straighter path, it appears to be almost all downhill. The others kind of round the side of the hill, so you could go round and off one and have to climb slightly up another. Great trails. Just in the interest of time and with the weather, we're going to take a direct route. As you can hear the drops start to pick up even more. Great trail. Temperatures are great. Trail conditions outside of being wet, a little muddy in sections with the puddles. It's actually still a well-maintained trail. And easy to navigate. Even if you didn't have a map, you can follow the signs. Whew. Definitely hear it now. You can see where I'm going on the other side. I just got to wind around to it. Watch your steps. You can see where this connected with the other trail. We'll just run down real quick, take a look at the map. All right, this is EP7, exactly where we want to be. So EP7 is right here. We came from 8 to 7. The other way is kind of wind around, get 6 and 7. So for us, our path is around that way. So up the hill and around that way. That's the other way you could have come if you walked around from 6. And then there's another pathway leading down if you were going to go, I guess, down towards 3. So right now, our objective, 7 around the top, hit 3, 2, and then 1. So we're not too far from the end of the trail. So there's a couple of ways to kind of take these hills. You can take it straight across, straight up and over, kind of cutting across, making your own pathway. for what I'm doing, I'm staying on the trails, clearly marked, especially in these weather conditions. I can see and navigate proper footing. Makes for a much more enjoyable experience. But if you wanted to venture off, there's several different other trails you can hit to give you a different perspective of this park, which makes this one of the great parks along the Chattahoochee, close to the city of Atlanta, to explore. Especially when the weather is great like this in January. This is rain. Up north, this is snow. So let's hit it. And can you handle this without poles? Most definitely. Just have to manage your steps as you're going up or down. Watch the level of the pack that you take. Definitely come prepared. Just never know what you may encounter on the trail. So make sure you have it with you. Like before, I didn't take a first aid kit and countered a section where I think I just touched a branch or something over the path, ended up getting cut. Didn't have anything to handle that. So now I have my first aid kit. Got a larger backpack, which allows me to carry more items with me, but still remain light. So I don't overpack, because I'm not doing an overnight hike or a multi-day trek, but it gives me enough space to have a 3-liter water pack that I can carry on my back with a connected to the front, so I can hike without stopping and still drink, and then I can carry essentials with me. And the pack itself offers a degree of waterproofing, but it also comes with a cover to protect it if I'm out here for extended periods of time where there is a severe downpour. So you can see the twists and turns. You can hear ducks or geese as we get closer to the Chattahoochee. And there's my connector. So we just came across the top of the hill, which allowed us to cut off some time. Watch for falling branches. All right, so we were at 7. We got here to 3. We'll follow this path here to 2, and then the 1, and we're out. The alternative was 4, which would have been back here at the overlook. We would have gotten to 6 and come around, and then found our way around and then back to this point. So we'll just make our way on out and look for EP2. All right, definitely level now.
This way is gonna go down by the
Good. How you doing?
Let's let him go first, buddy.
Oh no, I'm not heading that way. You're good. All right, EP2, and then we're heading to EP1 where the parking lot is, and we'll close out. Chattahoochee to the right. Here's the bridge we crossed in the beginning. And you can see more people getting out. Good raincoat. Allow you to get out and hit these trails. Right now, pretty much for long periods of time, have the trail to yourself. Definitely keep putting my energy up. Needed that hike. Small little island created by waters cutting around in Chattahoochee and carving it out. Man. And this is incredible. And you can see we ended up coming out on the Chattahoochee side just by coming EP3, EP2 to EP1. And this is not the way we started. We actually started off in the interior. And we're now making our way out on the Chattahoochee side. So we go in one way, come out a completely different. Just remember, if you start on the Chattahoochee side, you start on the low side. So most of your way around, you'll start going uphill, kind of winding your way up to the higher points, and then you'll find your way coming back down on the back side of the path. Can't go wrong either way. Just really depends on what you're looking for today. And this side is very level, very easy to navigate. Just one note, you will see quite a few pets. We saw 2 dogs earlier in our hike in. And that is because right where we park, there's a little area, low-lying area, takes you right into the Chattahoochee River. You'll see a lot of dogs out there, especially when it's warm, as they are coming to jump into the Chattahoochee and cool off, and then it turns into almost a little dog park as they're playing right in the Chattahoochee. But not seeing a lot of that today. It's just based on the weather, most likely. And as we travel, you can look down at Chattahoochee. I'm gonna pause just for a second. You see a number of little islands that just pop up where you see just the tops of the trees, and the water just continues to erode away parts of the hill. And so sections that were once attached are now stand up and free island ways. There we go. There's the highway. I believe that one is 75. Heading, either back up to 285, which is over to our right, or back into the city to our left. And as you can see, they are prepared. Bridges to get you across when these creeks really kick in. Little sinkholes where trees most likely were. Just keep an eye out for them. See these reed-like plants kind of right along the river. Give you a good indication that you're close to a body of water. And out there, see some of the birds just kind of sitting on some of the rocks in the Chattahoochee. Woo-hoo-hoo. Thanks to my poles, that prevented a complete wipeout. Whew, that's great. Oh yeah. So you can see, it gets kind of slick right off here as the water's running down. So just, again, keep your eye out, be prepared. If I didn't have those poles, I'd have to regain my footing on my own. Better view. Birds right on the Chattahoochee. Okay. Pretty cool. Gonna climb out to the fallen logs where they wash up. Whew. Yes, we are. So back here, so our indigenous brothers and sisters lived along Creeks and Cherokees tribes. Lived out in these areas and used the stones as cover from the conditions. So here we are, EP1, back to where we started. That's the way we went. This is up to the right. To the left is the way we came back. We made it all the way to EP26 from here, and it's a great hike. So our pathway, for the most part, was here, back in, around the 23, 17, 16 to 26, reversed back until we got to 23, where we went 14 overlook, 10, then we did 8, 7, 3, 2, and 1. And this is where we end East Palisades hike. We get across this bridge back to the parking lot. Oh, let me show you where you'll see a lot of pets. So we're back at the parking lot now. There's another pathway straight ahead that'll take you almost directly under 75. Here are the signs encouraging you to be smart on the water and don't dive or jump because there's a lot of rocks. And then also beware of the sudden dam releases. So that's that warning signal that I said that you would hear, and it comes all the way down to where we are, which is right down here. So incredible day out along the Chattahoochee, and this is the area where it looked like maybe at one point this was like a boat release, but no longer. Vehicles aren't allowed in here, but this is the area where you'll see people and their pets come into play. And it's a small little beach area. And there we go. And a river access sign. So river access, Whitewater Creek, mile 304. So we have to take a look at this. This creek goes around, connects back into the Chattahoochee, just creating the island out of this area as it carved around. Another nice hill directly across the water. But this is a fantastic day, rainy day, out along the Chattahoochee from a hiking perspective. Great, getting you moving. Great for reset mindsets, moods. Great for completing a challenge. Thanks for joining along. Sure, we'll be back another day, and we'll take a different pathway.